Chelsea Football Club agree terms with Maignan and Maignan Gittens. However, both fees have been rejected, but today there's breaking news. Milan and Chelsea have reached an agreement according to reports in Italy. Gittens, the first deal, has been rejected. However, Chelsea are coming back and both deals are expected to be completed by Tuesday. I've got the story, I've got the sources. We need to break it down. We need to talk about it. Hugo, Ekitike, a lot harder. Listen, I'm here to tell you guys the truth, what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. There's a lot of people that are going to be gaslighting you. There's a lot of people going to be selling you down the wrong alley to give you information. A lot of people that are going to be trying to bump you by extending a video to be up to 20, 25, 30, 40 minutes. I'm here to tell you in 15 minutes everything you need to know about Chelsea, and you keep it stepping. And finally, Kepa Arrizabalaga has left us. Biscuit Hands has moved on. There's been an activated clause from Arsenal Football Club. We'll talk about it. We'll see what happens, why it's happened, and more importantly, we'll break the Chelsea news down. Chelsea transfers on its way. But before we get started, number one, this is free of charge. I don't ask for super chats. If you want to give it, you do it. It's out of the kindness of your heart. But what I do ask for is hit that like button. 1,000 likes go a long way. 300 people away from 41,000. If you do that, because you're new and you enjoy the content, I greatly appreciate it. Now, let's get started with the news. We're going to start with the best signing. We're going to start with the biggest signing. We're going to start talking about Maignan. Look, everybody knows I've been sitting here for a year now, maybe 2, maybe even 3, saying we need experience in this team. However, it needs to be the right kind of experience. I wasn't asking for Tussin. I wasn't asking for KDH. I was not asking for players that are experienced in leagues that are not competent enough to translate to winning stuff. Maignan is a winner. Whether it's a winner with his club, whether it's being the #1 for France, whether it's being a leader in that French dressing room, what we know about him is he's a leader. What's going on? Look, he's got a contract that's got 12 months left on it. He's refusing to sign it. He was insulted with the offer that Milan gave him. He's on 60,000 euros a week. Chelsea can double his wages and it's within the wage structure. It won't be a problem. What has happened? Chelsea have agreed personal terms with Maignan. How do we know this? We know this because Daniele Logo and Gazzetta della Sport, look at my Italian pronunciations there, have both come out and said this. We've known this for a week. It's been hearsay. Now we have got concrete evidence from 2 sources, especially Daniele. When it comes to AC Milan, this man knows everything, right? He is the plug. What has also happened? Chelsea have put in a first bid, according to Fabrizio Romano and other journalists, and it was rejected. It was less than 15 million euros. AC Milan valued a keeper at 30 million euros. Chelsea value him at 10 million pounds. They went under the value initially. It was rejected. Now they've done a dance, and it looks like reports in Milan on Sunday morning have broke out that an 18 million euro bid has been accepted. Fabrizio's come out and said a 15 million euro bid has been put in, and it's final bid. Take it or leave it. Chelsea will walk away. Now, I'm going to tell you why there's 2 sides of this story. Fabrizio's not talking about the add-on. Chelsea want to make it look like they have got the deal exactly on their terms. Milan want to make it look like they squeezed out as much money as possible so that their ultras and their fans are not furious. Problem is their ultras and their fans fuming. Their heads are kettled. And I'm going to explain to you why. They've got an American ownership group, right? This American ownership group has come in. They had Maldini as the sporting director. And what was happening was Maldini was acquiring a lot of undervalued talent. Fikayo Tomori, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And those players were coming in and Milan were kicking on. Milan were winning. I think they even won a Scudetto under Maldini. And what happened was Maldini fell out with the ownership group. They took him away and they put Zlatan in charge. Zlatan and Uncle George have been absolutely ruining Milan. To the point now where they're running out of money. They need to sell. Fire sell. Theo Hernandez, Al Hilal. Gianni Reinders, Manchester City. Maignan, all the way to Chelsea Football Club. 3 players that if I told you 12 months ago would be sold for accumulated amount of 90 million euros, you would have said, what are you smoking? Are you stupid? That's what all of you would have said. But that's happened. 15 million for Maignan, or 18, whatever you want to call it. Around about 25 million euros for Theo Hernandez and 45 million euros for Gianni Reinders. If my maths is a little bit off, I apologize. What do we know now? We know this deal's going to get. And why do we know this deal's going to done? Because it's the final stretch. We will have this goalkeeper as ours. This is the public game that these clubs play. They want to stretch out the impressions. They want to stretch out the likes. Chelsea are going to absolutely milk this. They're going to bring out Mike Maignan as the experienced 29-year-old goalkeeper that Chelsea have got. He's turning 30. He is going to be absolutely amazing. This is a great acquisition for Chelsea. This is the leadership that we wanted, and this deal is basically done. I'm telling you now. Whilst one goalkeeper's coming in, we have got so many goalkeepers on the books. Like, we got Lucas Bergstrom, I think his name is, Jaja Selin, Jorgensen, Kepa, Sanchez, Petrovic, Penders. 7 keepers on the books. What is happening? Lucas Bergstrom, free agent, he's going to be leaving. Jaja Selina is linked with a move to Braga. That's 2 players gone. I don't know what we're going to be able to sell him for. Whatever it is, he can go. I think Jorgensen stays. I think both Petrovic and Sanchez are moving on. Daniele Logo has come out and other people have said it is got to the point where Robert Sanchez's future at Chelsea is over. Enzo Maresca doesn't believe in him. He's lost all faith in him. And any briefs we see that they trust these 4 goalkeepers, it's lies. And the other thing here is that I think a lot of people need to understand is when it comes to Petrovic, Petrovic did not want to stay at Chelsea. The stories that we heard was Petrovic was ready to move. If he wasn't the number 1 at Chelsea, he wanted to go and play. He got a feel of what it feels like to play in the European League. He realized, hold on, I'm good enough for this level. I can play at some sort of level. They had to give him a pay rise to go on loan to Strasbourg. He smashed it, and now there are so many clubs interested in him. Bayer Leverkusen, Monaco, Dortmund. They are all interested in his services. And what will be very interesting is where he ends up. Another person that we already know where he ends up is Kepa Arrizabalaga. Kepa Arrizabalaga is officially leaving Chelsea and he's only going to North London. Arsenal Football Club have put in a £5 million bid and activated his release clause. The player is eager to go there. He's going to go and compete with David Raya. Listen, I don't care. I genuinely don't care. I looked at the players that moved from Chelsea to what's called Arsenal. Honestly, we usually call it a retirement home. I'm not even capping. When I went through that list, I couldn't believe the players that they went there. And they were not successful. There hasn't been one where you go, this is a guaranteed hit. There's been some iffy ones where you're like, value for money maybe. Literally, William Gallas, Lassana Diarra, Yossi Benayoun. We said Kai Havertz, Jorginho, Willian, David Luiz, and now Kepa Arrizabalaga. This is comical. Arsenal need to expand their scouting range because 5 million for Kepa, thank you for finally taking him. And one more thing about the direct, last year they extended his contract by 1 year and they sent him on loan. His wages were covered, got a little loan fee. Now we're getting a little fee back for him. Beautiful, why not? We only lost like what, 60 million pounds, but it is what it is. You take every win as get. Now that the goalkeeper's sorted, we need to talk about Gittens. Yesterday I made a video and we were linked with Williams, we were linked with Rodrigo, and now there's some bird flu from Alex Goldberg coming out that watch Lee out. What has happened is we're getting Gittens, right? Gittens has agreed personal terms with Chelsea. This is great news if you want Gittens, if you're a fan of Gittens. However, what has also happened is Gittens' first bid was rejected. Chelsea bid in, I think it was around about £30 million. And Fabrizio's come out and said, the bid's been rejected. Chelsea are going to come back in. They're going to try and get the player. Both sides are confident this deal's going to get done. We know this deal's going to get done. It's an easy deal to make. Why? When, I think it was Nuri Sahin got sacked at Dortmund, what ended up happening was they went from playing out-and-out wingers to their new manager, and their new manager is playing basically inside forwards, and he's playing Gittens as an inside forward rather than playing him out on the wing where he's isolating people and taking them on one-on-one. Gittens' transfer value went from 70 million euros down now to approximately 40. So Chelsea view this as a huge opportunity. This is a market opportunity. They believe that there's great potential in him. The fit for us would be perfect. What has happened? As of this moment, there is no bid accepted. However, Chelsea are going back in, and reports today are breaking out again that Chelsea are going to get this concluded by Tuesday. Personal terms are agreed. Now, my opinion on this. A lot of people have said to me, Alex, you're being very harsh on Gittens. I feel like it's underwhelming. Profile, I get it. Profile, it's perfect for Maresca. Maresca loves his touchline wingers. He loves his wingers that can go on the outside, on the inside, ability to carry the ball. Brilliant. He's athletic. It will translate. He's played over 100 league games. I get it. However, if this is the replacement for Jadon Sancho, okay, we can work with it, right? He's a better fit. But if this is our marquee name for left wing, I am furious. I am absolutely furious because for me, this is a deal that could have been done without Champions League football. This is an underwhelming deal. This is something that, in my opinion, we're getting robbed of. I just don't like the deal. I personally don't like it. So what I will say is, if we get Gittens as a second choice and we can acquire Gittens someone else as a first primary, I'm happy with it. You won't hear me complaining one bit. But it is what it is. We're going to move on to the final story, and it's on Hugo Ekitike, and let's break this down. The story on Hugo Ekitike is an interesting one, right? Because nobody knew we wanted him. There was an initial link in January, 70 million euros. People were going mad. Then all of a sudden, he's had a good breakout season, and now Chelsea are chasing him. Fabrice Hawkins has come out and he said Frankfurt aren't budging on the 100 million euros. They want 80 million guaranteed, 20 million in add-ons, and then they'll start cooking from there. Look, I'm going to explain to you guys something there. This isn't a Gittens deal. This isn't a Mike Maignan deal. This is a difficult. And what I mean by this is the type of deal where they don't want to sell. Like, these people don't want to sell. Frankfurt do not need the money. They've got Champions League football. They've secured the bag. They've already got Marmoush money from a sale. They're good for 12 months. What they think is, if we keep Ekitike, he slaps in the Champions League, he slaps in Bundesliga one more time, we could get Champions League again, and more importantly, the deeper we get in the Champions League, the more money, and then when we decide to sell him, he ain't gonna cost 100 million euros, it's gonna cost 120. And also, they have a track record of extracting good money off teams. Colin One, crazy fee to PSG. Omar Marmoush, crazy fee to Manchester City. Jovic, Ale, they get good money for strikers, and they are good at finding the second batch of striker to come in and take over. So for me, there is no rush for them to get rid of the player. They're going to try to extract every penny. The problem now is for Chelsea is, how badly do they want this guy? How badly do they want him to come in and absolutely shine as Chelsea's number 9? A lot of people I respect, and a lot of the community that I talk to about football, and people that I basically go and listen to in my free time, they're very high on this player. They're very, very high on this player. And for me, the fee is so steep that I'm struggling to understand it. However, it's the idea of what you're buying. It's the idea that people like. And for long term, I genuinely believe maybe this will be a good deal. But 100 million euros is crazy. It really is crazy. And the way I'm going to put it is, and people are going to say, Alex, you can't put it this way. If Chelsea believe, and the sporting directors and the manager and Joe Shields and Igbali and Bowley believe this is the next big thing, and that he is almost guaranteed to bang, that they are going to find the next Isak, then go pay the money. If you're that certain, pay the money. However, if you have any reservations, if you have any doubts, if this is just a market opportunity, hold on. It is very complicated. I need your opinions in the comments below. He looks like a good player. I like him. I have reservations. I have questions. However, I see the talent. I really do. It's not a situation with Sesko. I just avoid that Sesko deal whatsoever. This was the Kavkas View. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Might be a double upload day. So make sure you do subscribe and stay tuned. Peace out. I'm out.